Hello everyone, my name is NagafenofIvalice. I am sometimes known as Olivia by that name, it's a nice name. And with me is new person who is great. Hey new person, you're great. Why not tell everyone why you're great by telling them your name?
Thanks. My name is Blotto. I suppose I am great, as Olivia has said. I'll be, I suppose, somewhat dual casting this game. Thomas was alone because it's an amazing game, and I suppose you should keep going, and I'll just pipe in from time to time.
Fair enough. So yes, this is Blotto. It's the blottiest person I know, not like the sketch. And we're gonna play a game which I genuinely think is beautiful. As Yora introduced it, I'll go on with Thomas was alone. Start the game. It's really going to be great. Bit laggy, but great. The program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. Code started adding name strings to the AI as a joke. Thomas AT23612 wasn't special. It was just an AI in the right place at the right time.
Was alone. A weird first thought to have.
Now, this game is about this square. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's...
Thomas,
yes, his name's Thomas, isn't it? No, I know.
Handsome rectangle.
Yeah, Thomas the Rectangle. Now, you may be wondering, for those who've never heard of this game before, did you just say this game's about a rectangle called Thomas? Yes, I did. And there's a reason, as you might have actually just seen,
Thomas
but it depends.
To start listing his observations for posterity.
Sorry, I have to let him talk.
The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
Sorry about that. I will be going quite at points, I think we both will, because the narrator of the game is a voice that some of you who watch Dave Gorman's comedy or have seen other video games may be familiar with. It's Danny Wallace, a British guy who likes video games, who will be narrating the game for us and tell us the story of Thomas. Now, you might want to chime in with the... after Danny's finished talking.
Past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
Before we progress and we jump, perhaps tell us about the gameplay of the game, then.
Yeah, sure. The gameplay is very fluid to start, at least. It's very straightforward, as you can see, just controlling Thomas with the WAS or the D-pad, whichever you prefer.
Worked.
WSAD, but yes, it's to get you started on the first few levels, just to get the general idea of the controls. So it's structured like, I guess, a good game, so it actually creates more, I guess, obstacles, although jumping isn't really an obstacle to start. As we'll see throughout the game, it gets harder.
There was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
So the story is being told of Thomas. He is a square, well, a rectangle, squarish rectangle, it's a rectangle, who likes to jump and likes to observe things. He's a funny old fellow, that Thomas. He's recognising that he lives in a world which is encouraging him to, well, what's the best way of putting it? To accomplish things.
Evolve, perhaps?
Evolve, that's a good way of putting it, of discovering the truth of where he's meant to go.
A little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted.
Oh?
It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
So what we're discovering as well is perhaps the world is a bit of a bastard as well. Which is kind of the truth, really.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might or might not be important.
So if anyone here has played a video game, which if I was watching you were watching this channel, kind of hope maybe on the side you had, possibly. You may notice that this is seeming to poke fun a little at a few, shall we say, gaming tropes for simple platforming games. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Well, what do you mean? In which way?
Well, it's like it's pointing out the world can't be trusted, a la any video game, world construction. The goal is always up and to the right. I've not seen many platforming games where your goal is to the left, but maybe it's just me. Mario's to the right, Sonic's to the right, and also, as we just saw there, talking about the architecture, the design of video game worlds. I mean, I liked this game because I could see the joke. I could see where it was coming from. I just didn't expect it to make me feel more about balls. Not like this. I can jump. Okay, it's alright. But yeah, I feel this is a big joke about platforming games.
Yeah, I can see that it can be poking fun, obviously. But whether or not really platforming games were initially meant as left to right, I suppose a lot of retro games were right to left at times.
What are they? Oh, which one?
Yeah, the very old Prince of Persia game on like Windows 95, it was right to left for a lot of the game, at least the first few levels, which are impossible to get past.
Wait, wasn't that the game where the dude had he took photos of his brother and then animated them?
I have no idea. Gosh, it's far too long ago, to be honest, but either way, I do agree, yeah. Like obviously now all platformers are left to right. And I suppose in coming times it's becoming more 3D, but it always does feel like it's left to right more than the other way.
Also, I'm not sure if you can see this, but this game has lighting. It's a 2D game with lighting. I gotta love that.
Yeah, brilliant shadows for a rectangle.
Yeah, I mean, he casts shadows. He's a 2D sprite that casts shadows. I was strangely impressed by this game for that. Now, I don't have to worry about getting any of the achievements, because this is the only game in the universe where I've got all the achievements on. Woo!
Right.
Guys, I feel proud. I mean, this isn't like the hardest game to get achievements on, because they're all physically possible for me. They're all about just paying attention, being patient, and getting to a point. And yeah, balls! Oh, Thomas, I'm sorry.
We just find out that water does not agree with Thomas.
Yeah.
Obviously.
To be fair,
as
as a technological construct, that's actually a pretty sensible thing to make him afraid of. Don't jump in water, Thomas. It balls you up pretty badly. So when did you first play this? What was the first experience with Thomas and Danny here?
Oh gosh, when it came out in a Humble Bundle, actually. There's just a bunch of games you can buy for charity at a really low price, and it was a good few months ago. I forget exactly when, but yeah, as soon as I played it, I just couldn't put it down. It was such an amazing game.
And deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas?
Well, it's a good. My sister got it for my birthday. By the way, here's Chris. Chris really hates Thomas because he's a bloody rectangle. What an asshole. But yeah, I got it as in the birthday present from my sister, and this is possibly one of the best birthday presents I got from her. Balls. Okay. It's one of the best birthday presents I got from her. Simply.
Graceful. The wrong word, but you know,
yeah.
Fine.
I'm good at video games, I swear.
Skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Just give me a minute. While we're here, I should say I'd have completed this game, so don't worry, have hope. There will be an end. I hope I will be mostly responsible for that end, but still. I discovered, and the thing you'll discover, there will be more than just Chris who will be joining us. The gameplay depends on your usage and I guess you could say coordination of all the new characters you meet and the various systems that they require to be coordinated. If you agree with that.
Yes, you need to use them in conjunction with each other, definitely.
Hopefully Thomas can make the next bit on his own, but I'll double check.
You mean Chris?
Chris. Oh no, I was worried that I'd accidentally jumped Chris over and then Thomas wouldn't somehow be able to make it up there.
Yeah.
But luckily, I did not balls that one up. Score 1 for us! So, the game is divided into point chapters, so the one that we just did was the 0 chapter, and there's usually 10 things to do before you get to the end of that chapter, or so. This is, I think this is part 3, so we have about 7 more to go.
Yeah, 7 sub-chapters.
I love the sounds. So, as I said before, I love the music in this game. I love the sound. The soundtrack is gorgeous. Love it. So great.
Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
As you can see, as I'm sure Blotto would agree with me here, you really do have to learn. You have to get used to the fact, if you're going to complete this game, you're going to have to coordinate. It's basically the main gameplay thing, so might as well get used to it now.
It's extremely tedious and repetitive, but a lot of the time it actually surprises you in how you go about solving the puzzle.
Did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared.
It's
seemed fine. Happy to be on his merry little adventure.
Best way I've always put it the same way, I guess. I always want to say it the same. This game impressed me. I wanted to finish it, and wanting to finish a game for me has been rare, shall I say. I've not always had the best tenacity at finishing games. I will start them, but the ability to want to finish them is that's an entirely different sort of affair. And this was something special. I really think it was something special when I played it. Now, this bit's tedious because obviously if you fall off, well, fuck you then. Well, hey, we did it using our abilities. So, when was the last time you played this actually?
About 4 days ago.
Getting ready!
No, I was getting bored and Thomas is such a good game. It's just something to just definitely relax and just have fun with. It's just, even though I've been through the story several times, it's always just as inspiring and I suppose exploratory.
Yeah.
As the first time I went through.
The story is... I just love the story. I'm not going to claim it's some great work of art.
He seems so very happy with the situation.
Yes, it's very good.
Fellowship of Quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness.
Oh wait, I have to jump across here.
That will be fine.
Stuff. I mean, we're talking about, we've already experienced it. Obviously now we're talking over Danny Wallace like me, I think. But otherwise we'd be left with a lot more awkward silences. And we're Let's Players, we don't deal with awkward silences. Isn't that right, Blot? Balls.
That's what I was trying to keep an awkward silence.
Damn it!
But no.
Find the system. Fuck! Ah, no. It's okay. So, no, wait, no. Getting too eager there.
Chris is aiming to be a swimmer someday.
Chris is really aiming high. He's a good old fellow, that Chris. I genuinely found it impressive when a game makes you feel something. But especially when it's a game about bloody rectangles and squares. Chris is a square. I can get that right. He's definitely a square. Not like, you know, an uncool bastard, but, you know, he is a actual square. It's rare I get to say that, but, you know. So Thomas has to go up here, I think. Due to a little bit of lag, it's harder for me to land the jumps, but... Okay. Literally having a small panic attack every time Thomas does the thing. Okay, Thomas. Okay, Thomas. Okay, Thomas.
Thomas is zooming, yes.
Thomas is really good at this. But now we have to go save Chris from death.
No, I think Chris can make it on his own.
Chris will always be able to make it. Oh yeah. Unless I do that. For that. Luckily, Chris's jump isn't the shittest, I think. I forget who has... There are more than the two that we're about to see.
Yeah, well, when we get to them, the elongated, or like the squished rectangles, yeah, their jump is pitiful. At least now, in 1.5, I believe you're up to, you don't, like, if you fall, you won't have to use the other character again and bring them all the way back, which in later levels you do, and it's a pain.
Yes, it is definitely a pain. I should never ever claim an ability to platform, should I? Probably.
There's some justification because it's laggy, but...
I'll take that some justification in spades, thanks. Oh, lag. Why? No, I used to suffer at Mario games. As you've seen on this channel, as some people know, I am about as good as platforming games as anyone might expect. But, I've genuinely... I had more of a want to finish this than Super Mario Brothers, and I both feel embarrassed and kind of proud for that, because I'm really glad we finished this game. I'm really glad you finished it, I'm really glad I finished it, I'm just really glad.
Mario's it's run out, it should be put to sleep with a pillow.
Well, that's opinions for you, yeah. By the way, this is John. John's great. No, balls. So John is here because he thinks he's the brave man. He's the head honcho. He's the hero, if I remember right. Am I right?
He has to help Thomas, yes.
Because he's John, the hero. Though not the superhero, because that's someone else, and she is the best person ever.
John needed room to show off his exceptional skills.
John is a bit of an egotist, if I remember right.
Little dot thing.
Yeah, he likes people watching him and admiring the fact that he can jump so high and actually perform what he can do compared to Thomas and Chris.
Bear that in mind, we're again talking about a really thin rectangle. A rectangle who has the personality of an egotist. This is...
It's better than a pessimist. It's better than Chris, I feel.
Chris.
Well, he has a bigger role to play later down the line, we shall see.
We have to also press this button with John here. We have... I think we'll stop this part at chapter 2.
Yeah.
So, we're going to get to that point first. We're going to wait for all the little dots, as John calls them, to catch up.
You could tell from the sympathetic expression.
Oh, poor John. Now, as you say, every little thing here has a personality. John is an egotist. Thomas is kind of like... I'm not sure how to describe Thomas, actually. I'd say he's a lonely, you know... He's a lonely analyst. He likes looking at things. He's an observer, as they describe.
Yeah, very curious and explorative. He definitely is lonely though. That's obviously as
The Thomas. Well, it wasn't like Thomas was mildly accompanied. So
yeah. Thomas was slightly alone.
Thomas was sort of alone, kind of, a little.
Seeking company.
So I've always discovered that the person you want to basically focus on getting to the top first in these situations is Chris, because Chris... At this point, Chris is shit tier. He really...
He's always bad.
He's not the best. But I appreciate the fact Chris is trying, even if he is depressed half the time.
And with Thomas rubbing it in his nose, gosh.
Yeah. Thomas doesn't even know he's rubbing it in his nose. He just thinks, oh, this is how, you know, yeah, cheer up, Chris, you know, you'll be fine. While Chris is like, I fucking hate you, Thomas. But,
look at him jump all over the place.
What an arsehole. Jumping around with his red arse hanging everywhere. What a prick. Yes, I love you, Thomas, it's great.
Everyone loves Thomas.
Yeah, everyone loves
You need Thomas, by the way.
I had a feeling as soon as I moved him forward, I thought, I'm being too hasty, aren't I? Chris is gonna... Yeah. There you go.
John can be as hasty as he wants, but...
Yeah, John's great.
It's a love-hate relationship with Thomas and Chris.
So, as you can tell, I don't hate Chris. There's reasons for that, but that's because I'm privy to the plot. But at the moment, I can pretty much understand why everyone would be like, fuck's sake, Chris! Asshole!
He's just so slow and annoying.
Oh, for once Thomas is in trouble, so we've got to get John over here!
He'll be happy that Thomas will recognise that he needed him, obviously.
Well, of course. So, 1.9. We're one away from the next chapter. So, let us see. Have John jump over here, or not. John's having a little bit of trouble, which is new.
John was happy to keep helping. He felt it was important to his image that he was seen to help the little guys.
John, you kooky bastard. So yeah, is a choice between this and FTL, and I am going to be doing FTL at some point.
You need Thomas. You're hasty again.
Oh fuck! Oh balls! I forgot who I'm dealing with here.
Chris.
Yeah. I remember there are some puzzles here where I spent half an hour trying to figure out how they... And what's great is, it's been so long, I can't even remember which ones those puzzles were. Oh.
It's going to be very fun exploring them again.
Yep, gold balls. Okay, so... Promise I won't be here for 2 days, but I can't promise 3. So, I think this is all about arranging the people in the right order. There we go! Okay, so... There, that's perfect actually.
He should be able to make that jump anyway.
Yes, but just in case, business.
Just in case.
Yeah, I know how ballsy this game can be. So ballsy, so drinks. So this is the reason why we said some things get tedious, because some of them are just a number of steps that you have to patiently work your way up. And I know, patience in video games? What's that? I know, it's a hairline trigger between what I go, I want to jump now, I want to jump, oh I threw myself into the lava. But this game demands you to have patience, a lot. I don't know if you agree with that, but
I very much do, yes. John taking Chris for a ride.
Oh, Chris.
It does make... There are certain levels, especially near the end, that you have to actually have a think about them, and it can be a little frustrating. I suppose is an innocent word to use, but
yeah,
it can get very aggravating. Particularly when you're dealing with the lower jumpers.
Not them so much either. The red one, Thomas, had a charming way of applauding.
Thomas, so apparently Thomas is applauding every time John makes a jump, which clearly is lighting his world on fire. And guessing that he's going to say, Chris, meanwhile, was a miserable bastard. Oh dear. God. So yeah, this is the moment where you realise, oh yeah, that moment. That moment where you accidentally miss a jump and then you realise Chris is keeping you back. Okay, now I'll grow to like Chris again, but it will take a while. Because, dear God, Chris, you're jumping. You're jumping.
It makes people weep.
Yeah, it makes me weep. There's one person who's really bad at jumping, but she is actually awesome at helping you jump. So yeah.
Gosh, what's her name? Laura? I think the pink rectangle that we'll come to explore later. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm not sure how to do this bit now. It's happening again. The flash.
You'll figure it out. I don't want to give too many hints.
You don't want to give me too many hints. Fair enough.
I think, well, shouldn't people see you just like figure out the game?
Yeah, they should see me in all my glory, is what you're saying.
Yeah. There you go. Chris is on the fire.
The problem is getting over to this sodding other one now.
You said the time you jump, that's all.
Yeah.
John and Thomas can do it easy, but Chris... Not much to say. Yeah, Chris is just Chris.
I mean, we've not got far to go, but I'm definitely ending the part after this one. This is going to be a nightmare.
Let's say take 4.
Ooh! Balls.
Oh, he can jump back up there.
Yeah, I don't have to worry. Thomas, you're great. Chris, Jesus.
Thomas is the staple for jumping and speed.
Thomas was the staple of Thomas Was Alive. Well, how about that?
Yeah.
Who knew?
That's when John was alone. It's the sequel.
If Chris was alone, we'd be fucked. Okay. So yeah, you're planning that. But if I move John up here, Thomas here, and then John up here, you should be able to make that. Chris, you ass. Okay.
He's not trying hard enough.
He's really not. He's not giving it 200%. Okay. You up there. Chris. Okay, so that one's going to be a bastard to make. I was debating playing this or State of Decay. The problem with State of Decay is so laggy. I'd enjoy it, but I know that it'd be really hard for anyone else to. State of Decay is a good game, but this is...
And this is the single player zombie survivor that came out to the
Yes, you're right.
It looked very good. We're not here to talk about State of Decay.
Yeah, we're not here. We're here to talk about squares and rectangles.
Yeah, State of Decay was the one.
Yeah, State of Decay was the one. Unless this is... balls is 1.10. Okay, so we have to do this one, then we're done.
A floating target. This would require coordination, balance.
So I'm going to use John to scout ahead. See what we got to deal with.
John was sure the dots would be lost, but he was happy to guide them to
so
triumph.
what we got to do first is get our good old friend Chris across. Balls. Or we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. Luckily, I see where you're going again. I see what you're saying. I see the tricks. Wait. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I don't even we don't actually have to do that platform, but we can just move Chris along here.
Yeah, I feel like the developers, they wanted you to make Chris fall into John, and then have John transport Chris to each platform, and then to the final platform, but obviously you can just do that.
Yeah.
John's reach.
So now John's realising that he basically, the dots are here, that he can use them to make them even, you know, make his jumps even super cooler. So, well done there, John. That's some slightly disturbing but quite good thinking, possibly. And on the note of John's good thinking, we'll start the next chapter, and then we'll continue off in our next bit. And you should note all of these introductory sentences, because they're very important to understanding the truth of what's happening in the game. And we're also about to meet Claire, who is possibly the most awesome person in the world. So, we'll briefly see what happens to her, but maybe we'll find out next time. See you next time on Thomas Was Alone.
Was breaking some kind of natural order. The crumbling